The text came through at 6:42 p.m., just as I was rinsing rice in the sink. "He'll be there," my wife wrote, "but it's just a work thing. I'll be home by midnight." I stare at the phone, water running cold over my hands, the word he pulsing like a bruise. We both knew who she meant. I wiped my hands on a towel and typed back the sentence I'd been rehearsing in my head for weeks, ever since the late night started and her laughter stopped reaching her eyes. "If you go to that party, we're done." 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. "You're overreacting," she replied. "I can't keep canceling my life to manage your insecurity." I felt something settle in my chest then, heavy, calm, final. I set the phone down and listened to the apartment, the hum of the fridge, the tick of the clock. We bought our first year married. I waited for her to come into the kitchen and argue, to roll her eyes and say my name the way she used to when she was trying to soften me. She didn't. 20 minutes later, the front door closed. For a long time, I just stood there. The signs hadn't arrived all at once. They never do. They slip in quietly, wearing reasonable shoes. A missed call here. A phone turned face down there. A new password on her laptop, she said, was for work security. I told myself not to be that husband, the suspicious one, the one who counts minutes and checks timestamps. Love, I thought, meant trust. But trust doesn't explain why she'd leave the room to take calls. Or why she'd smile at messages and then erase the smile when she noticed me watching. Or why the name Evan suddenly came up so often, always followed by a quick explanation. He's on my team. He's harmless. He's married. The first time I asked if something was wrong, she laughed. The second time, she sighed. The third time, she said, "I can't breathe around you like this." That night, after the door closed, I sat on the couch and stared at the spot where she'd left her scarf. It smelled like her shampoo, citrus, and something warm. Memory rushed in without permission. Her asleep on my shoulder during our first road trip, her hands shaking when she said her vows, the way she used to text me photos of nothing just to feel close. Each memory felt like it had been edited, the truth cropped out. At 11:13 p.m., my phone buzzed. A photo sent by a number I didn't recognize. It wasn't explicit. It didn't need to be. It showed my wife at a high-top table, her head tilted toward Evan, his hand resting on the small of her back. Her smile wasn't the polite one she used at dinners with my parents. It was private, familiar. Below it, a message. "Thought you should know." I didn't reply. I didn't cry. I felt oddly steady, like I'd finally been handed a map to a place I'd been wandering blind. She came home at 1:27 a.m. Her heels were in her hand. She froze when she saw me sitting in the dark. "You're up," she said. "I told you," I said. My voice sounded older. "If you went, we were done." She set her heels down carefully, as if loud sounds might break something. Nothing happened. I stood and handed her my phone. She looked at the photo, then away. "It's not what it looks like." I waited. Silence has a way of inviting truth. "I didn't plan for it," she said finally. "I didn't mean for it to get emotional." There it was, the word people use when they want to pretend lines weren't crossed. "Did you tell him about me?" I asked. She nodded. "Yes." "Did that stop you?" She didn't answer. We sat at the kitchen table until the clock said 3 a.m., talking in the careful, exhausted way people do when they're sorting through wreckage. She said she'd felt invisible. I said I'd been trying to hold us together with routines and hope. She cried. I didn't. Not then. In the morning, she asked if we could try counseling, if we could slow down, if I could forgive her. I looked around the kitchen. The chipped mug she loved, the grocery list on the fridge written in her handwriting. I realized forgiveness isn't a switch you flip to keep a marriage alive. Sometimes it's a door you close to save yourself. "I warned you," I said gently, "not to control you, to tell you where my line was." She packed a bag. At the door, she turned and said my name the old way, the soft way. It almost undid me. Months later, I still find her scarf sometimes, tucked in a drawer. The pain comes in waves, but so does something else, clarity. I learned that love without respect is a slow erosion and boundaries aren't threats. They're truths. I didn't lose my wife that night. I found myself.